Ghost Country, a disappearance that cannot be explained, based on true events. Sometimes people disappear, not in the mountains, not in the desert, not at war, but right in the middle of civilization, in cities, in their own apartments, in front of others. And these disappearances, people try not to talk about them because they are unexplainable. In October 2015, in Latvia, a man disappeared. Mareks Weiss, security guard, 42 years old, no enemies, no debts. He simply went out on his night patrol and never returned. Surveillance footage. Mareks is walking down an empty hallway. Suddenly he freezes, looks into the darkness, then takes a step forward, another and another. He walks out of frame and never comes back. But the most terrifying part isn't that. You can still hear footsteps on the recording 6 full minutes. Heavy, deliberate footsteps, even though the hallway is completely empty. A few days later, a stranger came to the warehouse, said he was an inspector, took copies of the footage, and vanished. But before he left, he said, "If you haven't heard them, it just means you haven't been chosen yet." Mareks had a notebook. Final entries. Someone is standing behind me in the mirror. They don't blink. It's getting too quiet. There's a city you can't walk into, you fall into it with your eyes. He called it Ghost Country. He said you don't go there, you're taken, and that it all begins when you stare too long into a dark window. I can hear the wind again. If I go, don't look for me. They call one at a time. A week after Mareks Weiss vanished, the warehouse was shut down. Footage confiscated. The official report claimed a technical error, that he walked off the property on his own. But that's when the strange things began. The guard who replaced Mareks quit 2 days later. He said he couldn't stay there alone at night, claimed he heard someone walking in the hallway, slowly pausing, but when he turned on the lights, no one was there. In the resignation report, under reason for leaving, he wrote, "I don't want to be next." A month later, a psychiatrist from Jurmala linked this to 3 other cases over the past 10 years. People who also vanished without a trace. But weeks before that, they complained about a silence that doesn't belong in the city and reflections that start smiling before you do. He submitted everything to the Ministry of Internal Affairs. He never received a reply. A month later, he left the country. No explanation. To this day, no one knows what happened to Mareks Weiss. Maybe he ran. Maybe he lost his mind. Or maybe he really was taken. Because if you believe the final still from the footage, in the glass door next to him, someone else is reflected. And that someone is looking directly into the camera. In the next frame, there's nothing. The disappearance of Mareks Weiss, case number 1227. Closed. No comment.